target clients too. Reach, man, I've done a little with everything. Google is the best. Mm-hmm. Because like nobody really wanna put in their information on a landing page as much as somebody wanting to look for the problem that they're looking for. All right, guys. So we're here live. We're doing scalp micropigmentation. In other words, we're doing hair tattooing. Um, this is a really popular procedure. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. You can actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can see some of my testimonials, some of my work that I've done, and the transformations. Simply, what we're doing is basically replicating hair follicles into the scalp. Pretty simple for those who's been doing it for a while, but it's really difficult technique. I wouldn't trust a tattoo artist to do this procedure because it's different than a traditional tattoo. We're under the same umbrella, but everything changes whenever you're dealing with SMP. The depth of the procedure is different; it's a lot lighter, and the pigment as well, and along other techniques involving SMP. I'm gonna wait until more people logs in into the channel. But make sure you subscribe. On the description, there's my Instagram page where you can see more work of what we do. We have helped thousands of clients who are dealing with hair loss and different cases, different results according to their taste, according to what they're looking for. And we able to meet expectations, and a lot of times we're able to exceed them as well. If you have questions, feel free to comment on here. We'll be glad to answer every questions you have. If you know anybody who's suffering of hair loss, feel free to share this video, share our page. We actually offer free consultations. On the free consultations, we will talk about your case. We will require photos if you're from far away. But if you can come in person, that'll be a lot better because we're able to meet, we're able to show you what we do. And it's a lot better interaction that way because we can customize it and personalize the procedure according to what you're looking for. We can also help you if you're looking for a hair transplant. We can help you find the right doctor for you. We can help you. Um, we can teach you about the procedure and about what is the ins and out of the surgery. And if there's any treatments that you might be a candidate for, we'll be able to help you as well. So if you see here in the video, it's getting, it's camouflaging the hair loss and it's look just as similar as a hair follicle. Obviously, since we're dealing with the scalp, it's gonna get red, but it's the redness is gonna go away within a day or two. And once it settles in, it will actually look just like the hair follicle, given the same shade and camouflaging the horseshoe in the back. See, there's quite a few people already here. Once again, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Let me turn down this music because I wasn't paying attention to that. Then also the video would be copyrighted and won't be able to show you guys everything afterwards. You see that up close? See how it's blending in into the existing hair. Our client today, he actually drove about 5 hours or 6 hours from Washington, D.C. to North Carolina. So there's no excuse, guys. Um, you know, I've interacted with people that are like not even 30 minutes or 45 minutes away from here, and they're complaining that it's too far. I get people that are driving far away because they know that they want the best results without caring about how much money they're spending. So that's one of the advice that I want to give you guys. Like, if you guys look at somebody's work and you guys like it, don't don't put the distance as an obstacle, because you want the best results, and I wouldn't recommend you putting a price on your image. I know obviously the price is important, but um, definitely shouldn't be as important as the quality of the work that you're gonna receive. And make sure you ask questions too. You want to make sure that you are able to ask as many questions as you want. And if you feel like the artist is getting irritated, or is getting doesn't have the patience to answer every question, then you know that that's not the right artist for you. You want to make sure that you're very clear, that you respond to everything, that any concerns that they have. That's just my advice. To Those are the things you have to look for on the company that you're gonna choose um, as your artist or your practitioner to do your procedure. That comes with anything, any cosmetic work that you want to do. You want to feel comfortable speaking with that person, or the doctor or the artist who's gonna do any type of procedure. How long does this take? So every session takes about from 3 to 4 hours long. Depends if you're gonna apply numbing. Numbing usually takes a little longer because it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to kick in. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. Our client today, he was actually a little bit nervous to know more about the results, to know how it's gonna look, and it's very understandable, because a lot of times when you do research about this procedure, the first thing you're gonna see is like pretty bad results. People are getting botched work from left to right, and it's very and you might get scared and not really look into it anymore. Because I've actually gotten people very discouraged when they do the research. But once you feel that you found that one company that you like the most, you're still gonna feel some kind of way, because you don't know that company in person. So once you're here, once you come in for the first time, what we do is that we try to make sure that we are able to, accommodate. We're able to make you feel comfortable, and show you the process along the way, because it's not only a physical change, but it's also an emotional change and a boost of confidence that you will get after you get it done. So we got quite a few questions here. Let me see. How much? Well, it depends. So everybody has different hair loss pattern. So we base it upon how much work we got to do, and there are different ways of how we price them. So best thing to do is to reach out. Make sure that you subscribe. On the description there is my Instagram. You feel free to add me on there, send me a message on Instagram, or you can go to the website, um, or call us directly, and we'll be glad to. We could do a virtual call, or we could do an in-person consultation, and you can send us photos, and we can give you a ballpark on how much it'll be on your case, depending on what you're looking for. And then that's how we pretty much price our procedures. If you want to know like an average, I would definitely recommend you asking ChatGPT or Google to know how much it costs average, and that's essentially what we usually charge. But if you really is serious to start and you want to know how much, then I'll recommend a consultation. Where is he tattooing? So we're located in Greensboro, North Carolina. We're here. This is pretty much the heart of the state. We actually about 5 to 10 minutes away from the airport. In case that you're from a different state that you want to fly in, we do have a way to help you with accommodating you with different sessions. That way you save money on travel as well, and we'll be able to accommodate you also on hotels and things like that. All of this is going to be discussed in the consultation. That way you have more information about what we do. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable and everybody's getting what they're expecting. Um, we take pride in our consultations because that's the moment that we're gonna see you and ask you questions in regarding to what you're looking for. And the first thing I want to do is to make sure that you're a right candidate for this according to your case and what you're looking for. Yes, I'm in the East Coast. Do you have to shave your head to get it done? It depends. So you don't have to shave uh, if you have thinning. In his case, in the case that we're doing right now, since he's a Norwood 7, um, you know, and he doesn't have hair on top, we definitely recommend you to cut it shorter every 2 3 days. You don't have to shave with a straight razor. You can simply just grab a pair of trimmers and cut it like that. You can still feel the stubbles, and you'll be able to. It'll be seamless. People will know that you have SMP, and that's the goal. Which is for us would be like shooting ourselves in the foot because we want people to know that you have this done. That way they'll ask, hey, where do you get it done? And that way we can get more business. But ultimately, we want to make sure that um, since you're looking for a natural and seamless results, you want to make sure that nobody can tell that you have SMP. So, and even though that this is the case, like a lot of our clients, they're willing to share their experiences to their friends and family, and that's how we're able to get more clients by word of mouth. But as you can see, it looks very, very natural. It looks really seamless, and it looks really, really good. I still have this part to finish, and obviously the redness will go away within 2 days. Yes, we do beards. I actually do have my beard done about 5 years ago, and it was the best decision I've made because it definitely gave me and filled in the areas that I was losing hair and that didn't grow any hair. So it definitely helped me a lot. For women, yes, we do women. Females is we don't promote as much females because a lot of times they don't like to share their photos and things like that. But and also the hair pattern, the hair loss pattern is different. We want to make sure that for women we do more density procedure, meaning that we're working between hair follicle, concealing the scalp, concealing the loss. And then we also work on the hairline restoration as well. Um, so it just depends on what they're looking for and if they're okay with, um, adding SMP and concealing the scalp, and depending on how much thinning they have, because it for density you have to compensate, and it has to complement your with your hair versus with a bald head or somebody who doesn't have any hair. We can pretty much start from zero and create as we go along the sessions. Yeah, female pattern hair loss. Yes, we do female pattern hair loss cases. I have alopecia areata. With alopecia areata, it's tricky. We have to ask you a couple of questions in regarding to that. For example, with alopecia areata, depends on um, how long you started, and also depending on how if the hair has traveled. Um, because with alopecia areata, it's an autoimmune disease that affects your follicles. So you want to make sure that your alopecia is chronic, meaning that the hair won't grow back in the areas you lost. And for that, in order for you to know that, you actually have to seek a dermatologist to get a blood work and to do tests. That way they can diagnose you with that, and then you can do SMP. If you don't want to go that route, I would usually do 5 years. And if in 5 years um, your hair pattern or your loss hasn't changed, then you can take the risk. But it's basically at your own risk. Any autoimmune disease that you have, you definitely have to seek a doctor before committing to this because getting SMP can definitely trigger the condition. And that's another thing about us right here in our clinic is that we know about different conditions because we've been in the industry for so long, and we understand all the types of alopecia and what can do. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're able to be a helper, and we're able to help you in the condition you have instead of complicating things by adding more problems into it. So it is important to understand different types of hair loss conditions. But for the most part, I would say about 90 to 95% of the people of the population are candidate for SMP, which is a higher rate. To have a mentorship, we actually do trainings. So our trainings is based upon the days that you want to come in. Um, you would just have to reach out to me directly to give you more information about mentorship. But the phone number that you can reach us at would be 336-264-0233, and you can send us a message, and we'll be glad to jump on a call with you when we have some openings. And we usually do trainings every last week of the month, every last Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And you can come in person, and we would train you through the process. We have a really thorough curriculum where we teach you everything about SMP, everything about hair loss, everything about consultation, hair transplants, and we also teach you about the business aspect as well, where we're gonna help you um, build your own business so you can make money and you can do this as a profession. We have taught thousands of people already around the U.S. We have a location in California where we also do teach classes on the West Coast, and so yeah, so we pretty much try to cover the whole United States. We have done classes in New York, Texas, and classes in Florida. So yeah, you see how it's getting a lot closer. If you guys pay attention, it looks pretty natural, pretty good. This would be a first session of the SMP. I typically don't like to show the results in the middle of the procedure, but since our client was a little bit nervous about it, wanted him to see it. That way he could feel more comfortable and confident with our work. And it's normal, guys. When you're doing something that's, um, that you've done research on and you've seen bad work and you see bad results, like, your emotions can make you doubt. Do you feel any pain? No? Guys, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you also follow me on Instagram. The Instagram link is on the description, and the website is there too as well. So feel free to browse and do your research. We're pretty also there are some testimonials. We have clients' testimonials on Reddit as well. So there's a bigger chance that you can do your research about our company here, and you will feel comfortable to come in and get an assessment, and from there you'll be able to make your decision upon what you want to do with your hair loss. Right now, what we're doing, we're blending into the existing hair, going in between every hair follicle, respecting the space, respecting the actual follicle. And that way, when he comes back in the second session, we'll add more, adding more density, going darker, creating that 3D effect. And that's what's going to make the whole procedure be uniform and look just as good as his natural hair follicles. As you can see, the pigment color is pretty light because we want to know how everything heals, settles in. You might lose about 20 to 30% of the retention, which is okay. And that's part of the one of the reasons why that happens is because one, the pigment is in a liquid base, and then the actual pigment is a powder. So once the pigment heals, what happens is that the liquid will pretty much you would the body would your immune system would try to expel all of that first, and then what's going to be remaining is the molecules, and the molecule that we use is a larger molecule that is going to be trapped into the skin, creating that little hair follicle impression. So that's essentially how it works, guys, with SMP. That um, and that's the reason why the pigment tends to be a different color, tends to be lighter, because of the fact that the pigment is fresh when we implement into the scalp. The texture is something that is also important because we want to make sure that we are understanding the texture and then the skin type. If the skin type is working against you, there's certain things you have to do prior to make sure that you're able to work on a clean canva. That way your impressions would remain and you're able to perform a successful procedure. Greetings from London, London, yeah. Yeah, London is where SMP started back in the day, back in 2005. In England, there's a lot of people that are already doing SMP, great artists over there. I have met quite a few. So SMP's been around for quite some time now, and now it's just getting more popular. The thing about SMP is that, since the years comes, it's getting popular, but also we've been getting a lot of the information has been diluted over the years, and people has taken a different path, and that's why you see so many different work, so many different results, um, and yeah, so that's why it's better to do your consultations and make sure that you do your research thoroughly. Because one of the things that usually happens in this industry is that a lot of companies likes to use other people's work to pretend that it's theirs, and you don't know that until you actually get it done yourself. So that's a really good important question to know if the person that's going to do the work, or if the company that's promoting an X amount of work, got to make sure that it's the actual work, because we've seen a lot of people getting you would say catfish, and then you have to do laser removal. Guys, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ask questions, make sure you want to follow me on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram. I actually show a lot of my work on there. All right, well done. Let me give it 1 second. So with this right here, I was gonna do is gonna take away the redness. There's the first session. I think this was pretty good. Pretty light, pretty subtle, pretty impressions are pretty small, and that's what we want, you know. You were really concerned about how big the impressions are. Some of them in some of the pictures. All right, you can face up now. Lay back for me. Facing up. Nice.